Centre here in Manchester. It's Junior Final Fours weekend, and we have got 24 games over 2 days on 3 courts for you, all live on the Basketball England YouTube channel. Semi-finals today for the under 14, under 16 and under 18s, and the winners will play in the finals tomorrow, and the runners-up playing for 3rd and 4th place. Kaz Bullock here alongside Isha Nair as we get ready to tip off in around 5 minutes time. So Isha, it's one of the most exciting, if not the most exciting weekend in under 14s to under 18s basketball that we see in the calendar. What are you expecting from this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it's always a great weekend here at the National Basketball Performance Centre when it's Junior Final Fours. I mean, it really is. Personally, I think it's the best weekend of the Basketball England calendar of the year. Just the atmosphere is always electric. There's always some great talent on display. You know, not only do we get to see certain players, you know, go up through the age groups. Maybe we saw them play under 14s, we saw them play at 16s, now 18s. We also get to see all that new emerging talent. You know, now this is probably the first time that a lot of these players have played on a big stage. So you know, it's their time to shine.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
this audience.
And it's fantastic, isn't it? You play all season and you get here to the National Basketball Performance Centre. As you say, it's the big stage. And so many games, so semi-finals today and then finals tomorrow. It's a lot of basketball for these teams to play in a short amount of time, and we'll see players across the weekend playing across different age groups as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but that's kind of the nature of the game, I suppose. So it's like players getting used to it early, especially these tournament weekends, these semi-final and final weekends. That's just kind of the nature of it. So yeah, for some, definitely like a learning curve. You can imagine, especially some players might have played maybe 40 minutes on the Saturday and then have to go and play another 40 on the Sunday. You know, it can be a lot, it can take its toll, but they're young at the end of the day.
They've got their legs for it.
Exactly.
So we're getting things started here on court 2 with the under 16 girls semi-final between the Milton Keynes Breakers and the City of London Academy Southwark Pride. And then over on court 1, on the side court, you can watch the Manchester Mystics and the Kingston Lions. And then on the back court, we have the under 14 boys playing, and that will be the London Stars against the Richmond Knights.
Yeah, some great action going on. Are you excited for today, Kaz?
I'm really excited for today. So, as you said, it's always a fantastic weekend. You know, you get to see lots of young, emerging talent. And there's a few players out, you know, that people might have seen at the under 13 Aspire level. And now you're getting to see them at the club level. And it's just always a really exciting weekend of basketball. And there's always like massive performances, isn't there? One of my favourite memories here is, and it fits in very nicely with this Milton Keynes team. So a couple of years ago, when the Milton Keynes Breakers won Junior Final Fours at the under 16s level in the 2023-24 season, Athena Thompson just dropped 40 points. Just a 40-point game in a final, in her last game with the Milton Keynes Breakers, and it was just epic.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, I was on comments, but as a spectator, yeah, certainly a great performance to watch out there. As yeah, Milton Keynes now looking to bring back that glory at this age group.
So if we take a look at both of the teams, so the Milton Keynes Breakers finishing 1st in the Northern Premier Division this season, 21 wins and 1 loss. That 1 loss coming to the Manchester Mystics only by 6 points. As I said, they won the Junior Final Four title in the 23-24 season against the Richmond Knights, and that was in their very first finals appearance, so making their 2nd one here today. They've been averaging over 90 points a game and have the best offense and best defense across both the North and South regions this season. They're going to be a really tough team to come up against as they came through the quarterfinals against the Sussex Storm, where Chantal O'Coley had 27 points and 3 threes, and she's certainly a player to watch for Milton Keynes. Yeah,
certainly. I mean, there are some great players out there on display, but especially Chantal O'Coley. I mean, she got MVP at last year's Junior Final Fours, playing at the under 14s age group, so she's already a player who's already made her mark.
She certainly is, and for CoLA, 16-2, 2nd in the Southern Premier Division. They've always been a dominant force at the under 18s level, and now they're looking to make that splash at the under 16s age group.
Yeah, it's great to see them getting the success at those younger age groups, as you say.
And for CoLA, averaging 66.8 points a game. holding their opponents to 47.2 points. That's the second best defense across both regions. And they came through the quarterfinal against the Sheffield Hatters 61-59. And a player to look out for on that team, Salma Bakari, also playing under 18s and Division 1 this season for CoLA. She had 14 points against the Reading Rockets this season, but a really quick player out there.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, player who's played across many of the age groups at CoLA. And we spoke about, you know, this weekend players having to play multiple games. Some players are already used to it because in regular season, they might be playing multiple games in a weekend, sometimes even multiple games in a day.
Yeah, they do. There's a lot of basketball being played among these age groups. So if we take a look at the starting fives for both teams, for the Milton Keynes Breakers, it will be Faith Deakin, Chantelle Coley, Sophia Elner, Chini Ibekbalam, and Lulu Keith-Swanky. And for CoLA, Salman Bakari, Akpevwe Ogwe, Aisha Kuyate, Victoria Boderin, and Eni Adepoju. So teams coming out onto the court, and it will be the Milton Keynes Breakers playing in red and white, and CoLA in blue.
Yeah, and I mean, we talk about a lot of things already today, but it's great to see as well, there's so many players out there that we see so frequently at tournaments like this. Maybe not just finals, maybe that's England, maybe it's Aspire. And you know, it's just great to see these players continue to showcase that talent on the big stage.
It really is, and for me, one of my favourite things as well is you see the development as well. You saw a pro player that we might have seen last year, and then we get to see how they've changed or what they've added to their game since then. It's just really always very exciting. And speaking of exciting players, Eni Adepoju out there, we saw her last year playing at Aspire. I'm excited to see what she's added to her game. A super lightning quick guard for CoLA. So for the tip, it will be Ibekbalam and Boderin for CoLA. And remember, you can watch all the games live on the Basketball England YouTube channel. 3 games tipping off now at 10 o'clock. And in the under-16 girls semi-final, the ball's up and we're underway, and first possession will go to Milton Keynes. Keith-Swanky over to Okoli. Okoli kicks it out. Shots up, too strong, and picked up by Okoli, but the ball's loose. And ball goes out of bounds, and that'll be a foul against CoLA. Oh, out of bounds, apologies, out of bounds. Ball, it will be CoLA possession. Bakari. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Bakari trying to get to the basket, ball loose on the floor. And it will be a travel call. So ball will go the way of Milton Keynes, and a little bit of sometimes it can take a little while for teams to settle into things here. It's also very early in the day. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, and teams don't often play at that time.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I'm usually still in bed at this time. You know, it's pretty early.
Oh, great read there as Bakari takes it all the way to the basket, comes up with the steal.
Yeah, great way to kick off the game scoring there. Some great defense, and as I say, that cliche, great defense leads to good offense, just showing that there.
And as we said, Milton Keynes with the best offense and best defense across both regions this season, as Keith-Swanky can't get it to go. Adepoju with the rebound. Watch how quick Eni Adepoju gets to the basket as she draws the foul and will go to the line. And this is something we saw last year, but the speed with which she plays with, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. I mean, as you said, that finals last year, even the semi-final at Aspire when she was playing for London, that was kind of the first time where she's showed off her skill set and her speed, and it's great to see her back out there again today. I was one of the younger players on this CoLA 16 side as well.
Yeah, 14 years old, just turned 14. Had a big 25-point game against the Reading Rockets earlier this season. And then did the same again against the Solent Kestrels as she can't get the free throw to drop. Deakin. Deakin looking for a way to the basket, pulls up, won't fall. And Milton Keynes able to keep the ball alive. Elner, and it's taken away. And Adepoju stepping through to the basket, it's knocked away. Okoli, great fake, can't get the shot to fall, but Okoli driving to the basket. That's the look they're going to get for Chantel Okoli.
Yeah, it is. I mean, every time she drives to the basket, you know she's going to go in hard and strong. And she did get it there. She did get to the basket at time, couldn't get it to fall. But, as you said, I mean, it takes a lot of adjusting, especially a new court. I mean, even the backboards, a lot of players might not be used to playing on these glass backboards.
Ogwe kicks it to the corner. Kuyate spinning. Kuyate gets the bounce. What a move there from Aisha Kuyate.
Yeah, great footwork there from Kuyate. Just creating that space to go up.
And the spin, just perfect spin cycle there from Kuyate as the ball will go out of bounds and it's Milton Keynes' possession. The Breakers looking to get, oh, apologies, it's CoLA possession on the end line. Kuyate passes back. Ogwe. Milton Keynes pick up the loose ball and keep Swanky running down the floor. Deakin. Miscommunication on the pass down there. As it will be CoLA ball. So CoLA up 4-0 here, 7:26 to play. Teams haven't played each other this season, obviously, with them being in a different region. So sometimes that can play a part, can't it? It can be kind of difficult to come up against a team that you've not really seen before.
Yeah, definitely, because you never know what they're going to part on the day. And I mean, there's obviously you can watch film and do scout, but there's only so much that can tell you.
Ebegbilum to the basket, gets the roll, and Sinead Ebegbilum will get Milton Keynes onto the scoreboard. CoLA look to get it over the halfway line. Ogwe draws the foul, and that will be foul number 2 against the Breakers. And Akpebwe Ogwe will go to the foul line here for 2 free throws.
Yeah, and I mean, Ebegbilum there, she had the right idea. You could see at the end there, just put her hands up, maybe just a little bit late. So we'll probably see her to adjust that. But another player who has this experience of playing in this final, you know, she played in that under-16s junior Final Fours. That game you talked about before when Athena Thompson dropped them points.
As first free throw is good for Ogwe, and we see a substitution for the Milton Keynes Breakers. Holly Smith-White into the game for the first time. And Holly Smith-White is going to be playing under-14s Breakers later today. I say later today, you know, it's going to be at 4 o'clock, so it's she's got a little bit of time to rest after this game. And 1 of 2 from the line as Ebegbilum has the rebound. As Adepoju reads the pass and will go to the basket, banks it in off the glass. And it's a 5-point lead for CoLA. Breakers not able to answer. Ebegbilum with the rebound, but it's deflected. That was a great save there from Victoria Buttering on the baseline, able to stay inside and get the ball to her teammates. Adepoju. Kuyate. 4 seconds on the clock. Ogwe, and travel called as Milton Keynes forcing the turnover.
Yeah, that was a great defensive possession there from Milton Keynes. Really just saw everyone on the same page there. Did a really good job to be disciplined, especially when the ball was picked up, and to not reach in, just kind of keep their hands out. And yeah, just force them to use all the clock up.
And we've got a whistle there. And sometimes this can be something that players, like, it takes a little bit to get used to, doesn't it? So we have 2 games going on here, and sometimes you can hear a whistle and you're not sure if it's from your court or from the side court.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of players aren't used to you know, a lot of players play at a single court venue. Not everyone's lucky enough to have them multiple courts.
Yeah, and it's quite an unusual like situation to be in. So coaches tend to say to their players, just keep playing, keep going.
Yeah, it does create for some funny moments. I mean, for us, the spectators, yeah, not so much for the coaches, but you know.
So Nia J. Bryant-Smith checks in for CoLA as they have a 5-point lead here in the first quarter. Bakari, hands off, it's picked away. And the breaker's coming down the court as Eleanor lays into. And Sophia Eleanor gets herself onto the scoreboard. Cuts the lead down to 3.
Milton Keynes definitely look more settled now. You know, they're getting those stops and now they're actually capitalizing on the other end. And if not scoring, at least they're creating the opportunities. And
that's certainly how they like to play, isn't it? They like to play fast. Oh, what a move to the basket! Ogwe stepping through. Euro stepping away to the hoop.
Yeah, I mean, what a great take that was. Just absorbing that contact, able to finish through it. Great take.
That was outrageous. I'm sure you'll be seeing that back on some of the highlights on social media. As ball is stolen away. And Smith-White takes it all the way to the basket. And Holly Smith-White, a real energy player off the bench for the Breakers.
Yeah, she is. I mean, another player who's certainly shown off their talents at Aspire.
Kuyate. Too strong, ball tipped. Kuyate with the rebound. And Aisha Kuyate has been working so far this quarter as basket is good for CoLA. Count it and the foul. Butterin will go to the line for a chance at a 3-point play.
Yeah, Victoria Butterin, what a way to bring up the energy. You can just hear the CoLA crowd. They've got the under-18s girls here now, just bringing that support. And especially in a game like this, you know, little plays like that, they can make all the difference.
They really can. It's those just like extra effort plays, isn't it? And we'll have a substitution for Milton Keynes as Abby Ajayi checks in for the first time. The under-18 CoLA women will be playing at 2 o'clock today against the Wolverhampton Slam. That will be the under-18 women's semi-final at 2 o'clock, and that will be on court 1. And it's always great, isn't it, when you see the programs and they've got multiple teams and they're all coming to support, and it's they certainly sit in the crowd and make a lot of noise.
Yeah, they definitely do, and it's just, especially when you're out on that court as well, especially if you're a younger player, you know, maybe under 14s, under 16s, just to have that much support and all that noise behind you, it really just, it just gives you that energy, you know, it just adds fuel to the fire.
It does, and it's such a boost, and you can see, you know, and again, that's quite an unusual atmosphere, isn't it? You might have, you know, you've got crowds cheering you on at home, but like this is a different level, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I know not every Dusty Sports in the country has this amount of capacity.
And the offensive rebound for CoLA, so they'll get another chance. And ball goes out of bounds, but you can see the pressure here that Smith-White puts on defensively.
Yeah, she's done a really good job at getting a hand on the ball, but also being disciplined enough to not force the foul.
So ball's in, Bakari has it. Taken away by Eleanor. Sophia Eleanor coming down the court. And, oh, what a shot! Sophia Eleanor almost falling out of bounds there. Puts it slightly behind her head as she intercepts it on the inbound and will go again. Doesn't get that one to drop.
Yeah, I have no idea how she dropped that one, how she made that one to drop before.
Bakari. Salma Bakari does a really good job here setting up the team as the guard leading the offense. And travel on the floor, so with Milton Keynes.
Yeah, Holly Smith-White, since she's been in, she's just had an impact everywhere defensively. I mean, you saw then just holding her stance. It can be so tempting, especially when a player's driving at you, to kind of flinch away or move your feet or move your positioning, but just held her stance there, took in the contact, and eventually forced the miss. So she's been a real impact player so far.
And a player that, you know, playing 2 different age groups, and that's being able to do that at such a young age, that's really impressive. So substitution for CoLA as we see Eni Adepoju back out onto the floor. Alongside Aisha Kiyate as Milton Keynes have the ball on the baseline, kicks it out. Deacon's shot is short, and CoLA with the rebound. And a foul on the floor will go against Milton Keynes, so that'll be their 4th team foul.
Yeah, Milton Keynes, I mean, CoLA obviously they're in a zone right now, 2-3 zone. Be interesting if Milton Keynes rely on the outside shot, because we know that they've got a lot of players who can hit those threes.
They really do. Ogwe against Smith-White into the corner. Arapoju puts it up too strong. Deacon has the rebound. Smith-White. Back to Deacon. Keith Swanky. Not that time, and a big rebound there from Buttering, and Victoria Butterin's done a really good job on the boards. 3 rebounds along with her 2 points for CoLA, and she'll take it all the way. And ball's knocked out of bounds by Arapoju.
That was a volleyball spike.
It was, wasn't it? She was like, get that ball out of here. We don't want it on court 1. Court 2. I'm going to send it over to court 1. But plays like that, very disruptive, because Milton Keynes are a team that like to run the break, they like to run the floor. So if you can do that, if you can knock the ball out of bounds and stop them and force them to reset, that kind of breaks up their offense a little bit.
Exactly, it also allows CoLA to get back now and set up their defense, in opposed to playing that transition D.
Lucas Stankovic into the game for the Breakers for the first time as Deacon finds Stankovic, puts it up from outside. That's too strong, but that's a great look for Stankovic. We know she can hit that. It's an 11-8 CoLA lead here in the first quarter. And ball's on the floor. It'll be a jump ball called.
Yeah, those are the effort plays that we're talking about. You know, in games like this, especially finals, semi-finals, it's those little effort plays. When there is a loose ball, who's going to be the one to dive on it?
Not me. Arapoju to Bakri. Arapoju behind the back, ball's knocked away. Smith-White to the basket, too much on it. And ball goes out of bounds. That'll be last touch for the Breakers. As the ball is knocked away. 2:13 to play. We'll have a substitution for Milton Keynes. Chantal Okoli comes back in, and Lulu Keith Swanky goes to the bench. Arapoju gets the ball over the halfway line. Arapoju steps back, kicks it out. Kuyate, time running down, 3 seconds. Kuyate to the basket, off the back rim, but the rebound and the putback from Brian Smith. And Nia J, Brian Smith, she positions herself so well under the basket.
Yeah, she does. I mean, so far she had such an impact, and she really just held her ground underneath the basket, getting some great rebounds, taking some great putbacks as well.
3 rebounds and 2 points for Brian Smith so far. As Kuyate, great pass inside, but the defense from Smith-White, and again knocked out of bounds, and it's Arapoju again, just right place, right time to get that ball.
Yeah, she's a real pesky defender.
What is she?
She's definitely a contender for our pesky defender of the game.
And substitution as Arapoju goes to the bench, and Akpebwe Ogwe back into the game. 13-8 CoLA leading the Milton Keynes Breakers here in the under-16 semi-final. Three's too strong. Brian Smith with another rebound for CoLA. Buttering. You can see how Okoli is just pressuring the ball on defense. She gets the steal, and Chantal Okoli can't get the roll. Final minute of the first quarter. Brian Smith again, a big rebound from Brian Smith, crashing those offensive boards.
Yeah, Brian Smith done such a good job underneath the basket so far. Apologies, Milton Keynes definitely going to have to look to be boxing her out.
Smith-White's three doesn't go. Kuyate. And Smith-White comes up with a steal. Looks like she's just taking a fall on the floor, so we're gonna stop. She's gonna get checked out. I think as she went for that ball there, just fell to the floor. But that shows how hard she's working. That's tough from Smith-White. And we'll have a substitution as she'll head to the bench. But Holly Smith-White, 2 points and 4 steals already in around 5 minutes of play. That's huge.
It is, and you can just see her impact as soon as she came out. It was every possession you just saw her have some sort of impact, whether that was on offense or defense.
And actually, I think after that, that will be her 5th steal. We'll double check on live stats, but it is CoLA possession. Ogwe, ball's knocked away. Ajayi, and I think we've got a slippy floor here today.
Yeah, something like that. That combined with players putting their body on the line.
Exactly, yeah. So 11 seconds to play and it'll be Breakers' ball. Ball's into Okoli, thought about it. Okoli, 7 seconds. Stankovic back to Okoli. Okoli from outside, too strong. And another rebound from Brian Smith, and that'll do it for the end of the first quarter. Nia Brian Smith, 6 rebounds, 3 of them offensive. And CoLA have 6 second chance points, and she's certainly been responsible for 4 of those.
Yeah, I mean, she had a real impact. Really kind of just, I feel like she kind of got on with the work a little bit quietly.
She did.
Definitely,
And she is that kind of player, you know, she's got a job to do and she'll do it. And it's, you know, those are the players that are such glue players on a team. Coaches love those players.
Exactly, yeah, you always need those players. I mean, I say she got on with her quietly. She still contributed, as you said. I mean, 6 rebounds in the first quarter. That's huge for them. But I mean, if you're Milton Keynes and you're looking at that and you're the coach, definitely going to be saying, box out. I mean, you can't be letting players get that many second chance points, that many offensive rebounds. I mean, there are a lot of coaches say the maximum amount of points you want to give the other team is 1.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, they can get 1 shot, if that.
Okay.
And then after that, it should be box, offensive rebound, gone off the other end.
Because you've got to learn, you've got to adjust as you're going through the game.
Exactly.
You see, okay, so this person is going to be a problem for us. How are we going to stop it?
Exactly. And then if you think of Milton Keynes' offense as well, I mean, 6 offensive rebounds on the team to have CoLA, it also disrupts their offense because we know they're a team that likes to fast break. And as soon as CoLA keep getting those offensive rebounds, it kind of just prevents Milton Keynes from going and fast breaking. They can slow it down and create offense. We have seen them do that, but we know that the fast break is kind of their first option.
Yeah, they're certainly a team that like to run. And for CoLA, again, we see that it's interesting, isn't it, when you see programs play, even in different age groups, they play with a similar kind of play style. We've always known CoLA as a very defensive-minded program, and obviously Brian Nguru, that's part of the coaching staff there, really embeds that in the players. And you see it again at this level, the defense coming through. But again, Milton Keynes also a very strong defensive team. Yeah,
there's been some great defense out on display so far.
10 steals for the Milton Keynes Breakers.
Yeah, that is huge. I mean, 10 steals in 10 minutes away. That's a steal a minute, basically, which is a crazy stat line. But we've seen that in previous years as well. We've seen when Milton Keynes have played, but it's been under 14s, under 16s, etc. Yeah.
We have so back underway for the second quarter. As Deakin out to Stankovic, 3 off the rim. And who's there for the rebound? Brian Smith again, but a steal on the inbound and put back in.
Yeah, Stankovic there just did not give up on that play. The 3 might not have fallen for her, but just there quickly gets the steal. Nice, easy finish there from her.
It certainly is, and it wasn't an inbound play, obviously, because there was no score at the end. But Adapoju can't answer. Three doesn't fall. Kuyate to Adepoju. It's a 5-point CoLA lead. And a jump ball will be called. Stays the way of CoLA. So a 5-point CoLA lead over on court 1 in the other under-16 girls semi-final. The Kingston Lions have a 5-point lead over the Manchester Mystics. And in the under-14 boys semi-final, the London Stars up 28-22 over the Richmond Knights. And you can watch all those games live. You can watch all the games, all 24 games. Get 3 screens going somehow. Get your multi-screen, split screens. Who's going to commit to watching every single game this weekend? That's what I want to know. Let us know in the comments if you're going to watch every single one of the 24 games.
Yeah,
someone's going to do it.
Yeah, they better. Or put it on socials or something. Or even better, come and watch them in person.
Come and watch them in person. Run between the courts. As time expires for CoLA.
Yeah, just as we were talking about that Milton Keynes defense, if they're not getting the steals, they are preventing CoLA from being able to do what they want to do, really. They're just putting on that pressure, forcing them to not have that pass on.
CoLA. And that'll be a step out of bounds as CoLA have the ball back. Bakari will inbound, Adepoju. And good house from Stankovic. Ball goes out of bounds, but Lucas Stankovic has been a problem defensively.
Yeah, definitely another contender for that pesky defender of the game.
Adepoju over the halfway line. And I think Tahir was like, guys, get me involved.
He just wanted a shot.
So substitution for Milton Keynes as Sophia Elner comes back into the game along with Lulu Keats-Swanky.
At the moment, I mean, for both sides really, it's like was one pesky defender or pesky player subs out, another one subs in.
It is, there's no respite, is there?
Exactly, it's just a real credit to both programs.
Deakin. Out to Okoli, three's up. Ball's tipped, Deakin with the rebound, can't get it to go.
And I mean, the three-point shot might not be fun for Milton Keynes at the moment, but it will start to fall. And the most important thing, especially at this age group, is that they're able to find and create that shot.
Yeah, that's the hard part, isn't it? The hard part is making the space, getting those good looks that you want, and as you say, it's going to come, it's going to drop.
It is, and it's just so impressive some of the offenses that we see, especially at this age group.
So 5-point CoLA leads. Elner over to Keats-Swanky. Balls into Okoli. Okoli. Shot doesn't fall, and a foul called there against the Breakers, reaching foul. As we'll have a substitution for Milton Keynes, and we'll see Eleanor Lau and Chini Ibegbilum into the game. And we're seeing some quick rotations, some quick substitutions here, aren't we, from both teams?
We are, and it's a testament to the players on the bench as well. Because they're rotating so quickly, it's because they have such depth in each bench, and they can rely on those players. And that rebound, by the way, from Brian Smith was actually her 10th.
That's outrageous. 10 rebounds in what she's played 8 minutes, 7 minutes,
yeah,
8 minutes?
around 8 minutes.
So Nia J. Brian Smith, watch out on the boards because she's coming for them. She's taking them. She's taking them all the way back down to CoLA. She's collecting them like they're infinity stones.
I love the comparison there, Kaz.
So we've got a timeout called here in the second quarter. 15-10 CoLA leading over the Milton Keynes Breakers. Leading the way for CoLA. They've been spreading the scoring, but it is Nia J. Brian Smith with those 4 points and 10 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds. And alongside her, Akwebwe Ogwe has 3 points and 2 rebounds. And for the Milton Keynes Breakers, 4 points from Sophia Elner and 2 rebounds, along with 3 steals. And then Holly Smith-White, 4 steals she has today, along with 2 points. Yeah,
some real impressive performances already, and we're only 12 minutes into the day. Or 12 minutes into the basketball of the day, anyway.
What more have we got to come?
Literally.
We don't know. It could be anything.
It could be. I mean, even in this game, we could be in for any more crazy stat lines.
So a big thank you to everybody watching live here on the Basketball England YouTube channel. This is an example, as Isha said, 12 minutes in. We've had amazing basketball already, so stick around for the rest of the day because we have loads more action. 12 games taking place today, 12 semi-finals today, and tomorrow will be the finals and third and fourth place games. So back underway after that timeout as CoLA look to get it over the halfway line. Adepoju to Bakri. And an offensive foul call will go against CoLA. So Milton Keynes will have the ball. Over on court one, it's a three-point game between the Kingston Lions and Manchester Mystics. Keith Swanky to Deakin. Ibegbilum on the baseline. Ibegbilum double teamed, has to pass out. Deakin nets it from outside. And is that kind of the momentum there for the Breakers when they see that three go through the net?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's probably the first many. Sometimes it's just about hitting that first one and then they start coming up. But I mean, who else other to hit than Babe Deakin? I mean, under 17s WABL Player of the Year for the North.
And she was leading the WEABL in scoring this season at such a young age as Kuyate to the basket. That spin move from Kuyate, she's putting on a show so far.
Yeah, she really is, just putting people in blenders left, right and centre.
4-point game, Ibegbilum. Ibegbilum, tough move to the basket. And Chineye Ibegbilum, we know she likes to score inside, but she's a player that in the National Cup final that the Breakers played in back in January had a huge 11 offensive rebounds as Elner can't get it to go. Bakari. Kuyate. Kuyate looking for a screen. Kuyate with a long two. Doesn't get the bounce. And Elner running the floor, scoops it up and in. And Sophia Elner, that's what we saw her do in that first quarter.
Yeah, she's just able to kind of extend and finish just in front of the defender. But great little break there from the MK Breakers.
Bakari. Bakari into the corner. Kuyate. Kuyate with 6 seconds, stepping through, runs into traffic. And a whistle on Brian Smith's shot. So that will send Niaje Brian Smith to the foul line. 2 free throws to come for CoLA. Oh, apologies.
2 free throws, also technical foul called on MK, on one of the MK Breakers players. So it'll be 3 shots for CoLA. I mean, yeah, 3 shots for. And that makes it the 3rd foul for Ibegbilum.
And a timeout called as well. So before the free throws, we'll have a timeout as the teams want to talk it over. And with a tie game here at 17 all, that's a chance for CoLA to put themselves back ahead.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that's some huge shots for CoLA coming up. But
sorry, I was going to say again, it's Brian Smith under the basket, right place, right time, being in that position, able to get round the Milton Keynes Breakers players and get the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great pass inside there from Kuyate, who went to the basket. She went up, and literally the last second, it was a great pass. Just before her feet touched the floor, she was able to just get that nice little bounce pass off. And we've seen that inside from CoLA a lot, you know, when people have driven and there's always been that quiet person. And as you said, like with programs that are here frequently, you know, who have teams in maybe older age groups, you can really see the style of basketball that those teams like to play across all the age groups. And they've certainly got some good players to look up to as well in that under-18s group or academy group.
Oh, they certainly have. Like what a group they've got as well. The Isla Habal obviously not here this weekend because she's too old. You're too old, Isla, to be playing at Junior Final Fours.
Yeah, grey hairs are coming through.
but players like her, players that we've seen like Felicia Jacobs that have come through the CoLA program as well. And there's so many. We'll see Chloe Vela, Eva Gracia Bella out there today later on at the under-18s group. But as you say, even at that young age, they set the standard, don't they? And they have younger players can look up to them, can see how they play. And
yeah, they really do. I mean, there's plenty of teams there this weekend. As you say, we've got the MK Breakers now, the 16s. They're setting the standard for those under 14s that are playing later.
As free throw doesn't go for CoLA. And we will have the two, so that was the technical free throw that was taken, and then we will have the 2 free throws from the foul on the shot, and that will be Nia J. Bryan-Smith, the rebounding machine that is Nia J. Bryan-Smith. I hope she's enjoying her nicknames that she's getting. I'm sure people can come up with better ones. Bryan-Smith playing under 16 and under 18s this season. Hits the first free throw. Had an 8-point game at under 18s against the London Thunder this season. And seconds too strong. Rebounds for Lau and the Breakers. It's a 1-point CoLA lead. Lau. Deakin. Deakin over to Lau. Shots up. It's off to the right, and the Breakers can't quite keep it in bounds. And it'll be CoLA possession. 5:42 to play.
Yeah, I mean, just saw Ajayi underneath the basket there. She certainly hasn't made it easy for CoLA to get that defensive rebound. Every time there's been a shot up from MK, she's underneath there on the offensive boards.
Elner runs into traffic, puts it up and gets the call. So Sophia Elner will go to the foul line. And this is the Milton Keynes Breakers team that made it to the under-16 National Cup final in January, playing against the Manchester Mystics. So they've got experience of playing in the finals. And it was Sophia Elner. She was doing a bit of everything out there in that final, as she has done all season. You see players, and some players as well, they'll have different roles, won't they? So they'll have different roles at under 14s, under 16s, under 18s. And can it be quite difficult to adapt to that when you're having to change games quickly?
Yeah, it definitely can as well. Like, depending on maybe, especially when players play up in age group, maybe they're not relied on as much. You know, if you're playing in your own age group and you're a standout player, and then you have to go up and play a different age group, maybe your role has to adjust in that way as well. But then most of these players who do play up also play a big role in their older age groups. I mean, Sophia Elner herself, she's also been WABL this season, also having her impact there. You know, she had a Player of the Week performance with 23 points, 12 rebounds, and she had 35 efficiency.
That is huge. That's
very huge.
And she gets the offensive rebound, steps back, doesn't get it to go. And Namira Bishop into the game for CoLA after that last substitution. So sideline possession for CoLA.
Even I can't tell where the whistles are coming from.
And we talk about players playing across the different age groups as well, but also coaches coaching across the age groups. So head coach here, Ibrahim Idris, for the CoLA under-16 girls. He's the assistant coach of the under-18 men CoLA team, who'll be playing later on today at 4 o'clock against the Sussex Storm. So adjustments for coaches to make. As ball's kicked out, Kuyate, not that time. Bryan-Smith, rebound and the reverse.
I mean, what an impact CoLA having inside. Bryan-Smith there, just finishing, nice little reverse, such a presence inside. I mean, the play before, Bodderin just being a real impact player, forcing the defense to collapse and kicking it out. Some great plays going on here.
As Keith Swanky splashes in from outside, and Milton Keynes take the lead by 1. And a 5-second violation on the inbound. This is just defensive pressure everywhere, isn't it? It's fantastic.
It really is. I mean, sometimes just little plays we just seen there. I mean, we saw Keith Swanky hit that 3-pointer, and now they've just forced 5-second violation. It's those little plays, those little runs that can also just bring that energy
Keep Swanky blocked by Budurin. And CoLA looking to retake the lead on this possession. Ogwe out to the corner. Bishop shots off the rim, and Elna has the rebound. That's the third rebound for Sophia Elna today. Okoli looking for some space. And Kuyate with the rebound, but then Sophia Elna takes the ball away. And Elna, how many steals has she got? I feel like she's certainly had a lot of those tips that have given possession to Milton Keynes, but possession is going the other way, so it is with CoLA.
Yeah, and I'm going to put out our plea again to FIBA, because FIBA, please get another line in that stats column. Stick on those little tips that lead to steals, lead to turnovers, just like that one there, really.
As good defense from Okoli is right on cue, Isha. You said it. She pokes the ball away, tips it, and then stands her ground as
I think the ball will go in the way of Milton Keynes by the looks of it.
So Okoli coming up with the ball there for her team.
I felt like we hadn't made that plea in a while for that stats
yeah,
column. So.
They need to be reminded, don't they, FIBA? I don't know why they're not listening to us.
Exactly.
Ogwe, talking of steals, gets the ball back for CoLA.
Yeah, good hands from Okoli there, just forcing it out of bounds. Also not fouling, you know. Yeah, why aren't FIBA watching this defensive masterclass from both teams going on? Come on, FIBA. What are you doing?
So ball's in. Brian Smith. Ogwe. Kuyate out to the corner. Bishop shot will go from outside. Namira Bishop off the bench. Instant impact.
Yeah, CoLA doing a really good job there just to read what the MK defense was doing, just finding that outside shot.
Smith wide, not that time. Bishop, and it'll be a foul against the Breakers, and that'll be their fourth team foul. So sometimes fouls like that, Isha, aren't they? You just can't stop yourself. You can't stop yourself going. You've got that momentum, and it's taking you. It's just a case of you're going a bit too fast. Yeah,
she's really lucky to get that one. As you can see, just eager to get a handle of the ball, like you said. Sometimes it's just that split second that can make a difference, you know.
And Amida Luani comes into the game for CoLA. Brian Smith goes to the bench with a massive 11 rebounds and 7 points. And Okoli with the tip. And then Ogwe takes it back for CoLA. This is relentless. And Okoli will knock it out of bounds. What do you think these teams' defensive practices are like? Do you think it's just the most intense thing anyone's ever done?
Definitely. I mean, the only way they can practice playing this much high pressure is to go against each other, innit? Probably do points on defense instead of points for offense.
Points for a stop.
Yeah.
But this is a really impressive display, isn't it? And, you know, younger players that are watching, it's all is about extra effort and just going for that extra, can you knock the ball away? And it's all those little plays that add up to help your team win.
Yeah, exactly. And then in close games, especially, and this weekend we'll see plenty of, I mean, this one's close, all the games are close at the moment. They're the little plays that count.
Ogwe all the way to the basket, going coast to coast. Gives CoLA a 4-point lead. Elna lines it up, doesn't drop, and the rebound as Ajayi will go to the foul line. That'll be the third team foul on CoLA.
Yeah, and Ajayi just done a really good job inside since she's been on. I mean, on the stat sheet, I don't think it necessarily reflects how many not almost rebounds, or how much of a presence she's been inside, you know. Every time, she might not have got 2 hands on it, but she's certainly been there and has been disruptive to force the CoLA defenders maybe to not get it or put that extra effort in to try and get it.
She certainly has, hasn't she? And that's what we talk about, you know, extra effort that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. It's so valuable to have players like that as Ajayi hits her first free throw.
Yeah, FIBA, another one for you there. To add on.
We're making a list. And second doesn't drop. Luani gets the rebound for CoLA. Kuyate. Over to Ogwe. Just over 2 minutes to play in the first half. Ball's into the corner. Bishop puts it up, and that'll be a travel call. 3-point CoLA lead. Over on court one, the Manchester Mystics have a 1-point lead against the Kingston Lions in the other under-16 girls semi-final.
Yeah, it's close games all around here, just as we like to see at these Final Four events.
And an offensive foul against... apologies, defensive foul against CoLA. So that'll put them on 14 fouls, and we'll have a substitution here for CoLA. Victoria Buttering goes to the bench, and Nia J. Bryan-Smith comes back into the game. So both teams on 14 fouls. The next one will put them in the bonus as Deakin lines it up from the foul line, off the front of the rim. Ogwe. It's a good decision there from Ogwe. Resets for the team. Luani all the way, driving baseline.
Yeah, and one thing CoLA have done really well in this game, I'm really impressed with, especially at such a young age, is just read what the defense is doing. You know, every time Milton Keynes, every time they've done something on offense, they've reacted to what the defense is doing. So whether that's to jump stop and kick it out, whether that's to do a specific move to get around the defense, they've just done that so well so far in this game.
They really have. Kuyate. Ball's loose, picked up by Deakin. Smith-White, back to Deakin. Good ball movement here from the Breakers as Elna shots too strong and Kuyate with the rebound. Luani, too strong off the glass. Final minute of the first half. Smith-White. And the ball drops in. Holly Smith-White takes the contact, has a chance for an extra point at the foul line.
Yeah, what a finish. Just taking that contact, absorbing it really, still able to finish and get the score. What a way to bring that energy just before the end of the quarter. I mean, quarter and half, same thing, innit?
So a substitution for Milton Keynes as Sophia Elner goes to the bench with 7 points and 3 rebounds. And Lucas Stankovic checks in, and we'll see Salma Bakari back in for CoLA. Smith-White with a 17-point game against the Sheffield Hatters at the under-16s this season. Doesn't get the free throw, and Bryan-Smith with rebound number 12. As CoLA look to extend their lead. Kuyate. Bakari, that was great defense from Smith-White, just making a wall.
Yeah, literally just holding her stance.
Milton Keynes can't save the ball in, and it'll be CoLA possession for the final 10 seconds of the half.
Yeah, and it looks like they will call a timeout. Probably, most likely, well, no, they will. Let's be real, they will be drawing something up now. I mean, one timeout at the end of the quarter, you know, 10 seconds left, might as well. So it'll be interesting to see what CoLA pull out of the bag, what head coach Ibrahim Idris pulls out of the bag to get a quick score.
It certainly will, and Coach Idris with his assistant coach, Chandrea Jones-Aya, who's also playing Division 1 this season for CoLA. She's been a part of the program for a really long time, and she's obviously, you know, she gives back to the younger age groups, and to have someone like her to learn from is a huge thing for players. She's an assist machine when she's out there, is Jones-Aya on the court.
Yes, I know we've spoken a lot about kind of, you know, in programs having people to look up to. Having an assistant coach as a player like her is it's a pretty good thing to have. It is really good. And also, especially with clubs, you know, when you have players returning back as coaches, whether that's head coaching or assistant, it kind of just lets them keep that brand of basketball, doesn't it, as well? They can just keep that basketball that they like to play, whatever style that might be.
Yeah, it really doesn't. It's just the culture in it of the program. So teams coming back on court. We've got 10 seconds in the first half, and it will be CoLA possession.
Oh, it looks like they were bringing the balls out for half time then. Have a go with all of the balls, why not?
So 10 seconds in the first half. It's a 3-point CoLA lead as it looks to stretch it out to a 2-possession game. Brian Smith back to Bakari. Bakari, 5 seconds. Into the corner, Adepoju. And it will be a step out of bounds. So 1.9 seconds will give Milton Keynes chance here. It'll have to be a bit of a catch and a launch.
Yeah, we could get a proper highlight play in a minute, or in a second, should I say.
Smith-White into Deakin, back to Smith-White, and she'll just dribble it out. So at the end of the first half, it's a 27-24 lead for CoLA over the Milton Keynes Breakers. CoLA having been led by Nia J. Brian Smith, 7 points, 12 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds for Brian Smith. That's a really big first half performance in just under 14 minutes of play.
It is, and it's just real credit to her because you can just see her impact when she's been out there. But it's just been a real defensive masterclass all around from both sides of the ball. I mean, it's a pretty low-scoring game if we think about it. And if you've watched it, you know why. You know, both teams really just being disciplined and having strong presences on defense because there's only really one player out there at the moment who may be in a bit of foul trouble, but apart from that, it just goes to show that everyone's being disciplined, you know, on defense.
Yeah, and that's really impressive to see as well. And this is what happens, isn't it, when the best defense comes up against the second best defense? Yeah. It's going to be a slugfest, isn't it?
It really is, and it has been.
And for CoLA, everybody that's got out onto the court today has got themselves onto the scoreboard. So a real all-round team effort there from CoLA. And for the Milton Keynes Breakers, leading the way is Sophia Elner with 7 points and 3 rebounds and 5 steals for Elner in the first half. 8 second chance points for the Breakers to 1 for CoLA, but a lot of those second chance points have been Nia J. Brian Smith.
Yeah, and she's just been such a great presence under that basket. It really just made her mark.
And if we take a look over on court 1, the Manchester Mystics have a 2-point lead against the Kingston Lions as they head into the third quarter. Manchester having, oh my goodness, I've just looked at the score sheet for this Manchester Mystics game against the Kingston Lions.
Oh no, I haven't watched it yet. That's a big reveal.
Okay, Elsa Critchley, 22 points and 12 rebounds in 18 minutes.
On 83%
and
83%
from the field. She'll also be playing under 14s later on, won't she? So
we say later on at 12 o'clock.
At 12, like after this
yes.
game. Elsa Critchley, that's... Excuse me, what are you doing? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Elsa Critchley really just doing Elsa Critchley things out there at the moment.
That is so impressive, the young player, and this is what we're talking about. All this young talent on display. We say, you know, you're seeing the stars, the players of tomorrow, but these are the players of today, aren't they, in this age group? And some fantastic performances. A 22-point, 12-rebound game in the first half for Elsa Critchley. So shout out to her for the Manchester Mystics. And then for the Kingston Lions, leading the way, it's Nikita Cornford with 11 points. And also Julia Bartnicker off the bench with 11 points and 5 assists for the Kingston Lions. And then let's take a look at the under-14 boys game, because who knows what's been going on over there.
I don't know if I can take any more exciting stats.
So London Stars leading 44-42 over the Richmond Knights at halftime. And okay, Kaius Visokis, he said, Elsa Critchley, I've got 22 points as well. So he's dropped 22 points on 75% shooting. Kaius Visokis for the London Stars. And then for the Richmond Knights, 15 points from Oliver Sherman, along with 7 rebounds. So you want to see some of the most exciting players in the country out here in Manchester. Come on down to the National Basketball Performance Centre, grab your tickets, In the backcourt, we've got the under-14 semi. Welcome back in to the National Basketball Performance Centre for the second half of the under-16 girls semi-final between the Milton Keynes Breakers and CoLA. CoLA with a 3-point lead, 27-24 as we head into the second half. And it has been a defensive masterclass from both teams out there on the floor, as the winner of today's game will move on to the final, and they'll be playing either the Manchester Mystics or the Kingston Lions. In the other semi-final going on right at the moment, Manchester have a 4-point lead over the Kingston Lions, and then the runners-up will be playing each other tomorrow. So all the action live on the Basketball England YouTube channel and here at the National Basketball Performance Centre. So you said, based on that first half, we're in for a really good second half here. Yeah, we are. I mean, both teams, we were just talking at half-time about kind of the comparison. So on the far court, obviously, the court scores 43-45. This court, we've got 24-27. And it's no disrespect to any team that's out there at the moment, but there's just been really great defense going on. It is a defensive masterclass, like you said. And the shots that both teams have been taking, they're not bad shots. They're good shots, but just the defensive pressure has been that tough. They've just been hard to get off, hard to finish over the contest, hard to finish through the contact. But yeah, as you said, we're in a really great second half of action. Some really huge performances so far already from both sides. I mean, MK have 2 people on 5 steals, and we've got Brian Smith from CoLA already on 12 rebounds. So back underway for the third quarter. As CoLA leading the way for the Breakers, and CoLA scoops it, can't get it to go. And last touch Breakers as it goes out of bounds, and it'll be CoLA possession. Bakari to Kuyate. Bakari, a real leader out there on the court for this CoLA team. And what a pass inside! As Wurin finishes under the basket with Bakri with a fantastic pass, setting up a teammate. And at the other end, Ajayi answers for the Breakers. Yeah, what a way to open this second half of action. A 3-point game. Bakari. Kuyate. Wurin inside to the basket. And a foul on the shot. Yeah, Buttering so far has been a real impact, another real impact inside for CoLA. And we just saw at halftime as well when they were walking back, we saw Yabella from the 18s just giving her some advice, really. Yeah. It looked like she was, definitely. And we've spoken all game already about, having good role models to look up to, older players and stuff. And yeah, that just says it all, really. It's great, isn't it? It's great to see as well. And, even at such a young age for Evergrace Yabella being able to help out the next generation, as 2 of 2 from the line. And CoLA stretch out the lead here up to 5 points. And at the other end, Ajayi. A chance for an and-one opportunity here. And Abby Ajayi coming out strong to start the second half. Yeah, she's been a real impact for MK, coming off the bench, kind of stepping up, a big bullet for MK, maybe in a bit of foul trouble, so she's kind of taken on that role of being that inside player. She's done a really good job of it so far. And Breakers not able to save the ball. So it'll be CoLA possession. Neither team have had a lead bigger than 7 so far, and that shows just how tight it's been. And that was very early on, wasn't it, to start the game? Yeah, it hasn't. And as well, it takes takes teams a minute to kind of settle into the game as well. Ogway saves the ball, but Elner comes up with the steal as Deakin. And Faith Deakin to the basket. Ajayi's there for the rebound, but Bakri tips it. Bakari, excuse me. And Elner keeps Swanky calling for it. Keith Swanky kicks it out. A CoLA, time and space, not that time. And Ajayi tipping the ball out of bounds. She knew she wasn't going to be able to get there, but just tipped it away.
Yeah, again, just lets, CoLA get back on defense, kind of set up their defense. Also stops MK from getting any sort of fast break or transition offense opportunity. Apologies, CoLA.
Ogwe over the halfway line. Tiki knocks the ball into the backcourt. Ogwe gets it over. Swings it to Kuyate. And Brian Smith going inside, but that will be an offensive foul call. Basket is waved off as a CoLA takes the charge, and you can see the smile on her face then. I always remember Kat Hume, that used to play for Anglia Ruskin University, saying to me, she's like, a big charge gets your team as hyped up as a big shot or something. That big defensive play can really be a momentum swing.
Yeah, it can. It's just another great skill to have, It's so easy for players to be tempted to move out of the way. I mean, Brian Smith, she's showed no signs of slowing down there. When she goes to the basket, she's going in hard and strong. But I say, CoLA just holding her stand. You just saw her say that in her face there, light up when she found out it was an offensive foul and opposed to an offensive one.
And Ajayi with the offensive rebound and finishes on the putback.
Yeah, Ajayi cannot be stopped underneath that basket so far in this second half.
7 points and 2 rebounds so far for Ajayi. And ball's stripped by a CoLA. A CoLA all the way through the contact. And Chantal CoLA with a chance to tie the game at the line. Oh no! After that basket, it puts Milton Keynes ahead and gives Milton Keynes a 1-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, Chantal CoLA just getting it done on both ends. We know she can do this. We know she can have an all-round impact, and that is what she's done right now.
So a substitution, a timeout, sorry, for both the teams to talk it over. 7:15 to play before we will have the free throw. And great to see the support in the crowd. We've got a really good crowd building here. And then look who that is on the baseline. It is Manchester Basketball's Irene Oboado heading over to Tennessee University to play for the Lady Vols next season. And a player that's played at many junior Final Fours. Again, too old to be playing.
So my last season of junior final, my last season of teams at junior Final Fours, I played with Irene Oboado.
Yeah. She's actually not too old, sorry.
Yeah,
she's still 17.
She's just been playing. she's been playing
for so long.
Exactly every age group for however long.
But a huge proponent for the Manchester program as well, for a player that's come through at different age groups, and it's been played for so many years at such a young age, and it's great to see her taking the next step, and she'll be heading over to the States.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the game.
Yeah. So 7:15 to play.
But yeah, CoLA probably just come that time out there, just to talk things over. Basketball at the end of the day is a game of runs, The Breakers, they've come out hard and strong in this game. In this second half. The momentum does seem to be with them, but they'll go on their run. CoLA be looking to kind of back that momentum, let the pendulum swing back in their way and go on their little run. But it's easy for teams to kind of stress and kind of settle in, so needing to get off shots quickly. So CoLA definitely won't be looking to do that.
So CoLA completes the 3-point play and gives the Breakers a 2-point lead. Ogwe stepping through to the basket. And a travel called, and again it's Holly Smith-White just standing her ground, standing in the way.
Yeah, as you say, the MK defenders there. I'm not sure what's happening with the clock right now.
Oh.
Apologies at home if it is counting down. I think maybe they, forgot to stop it or something. Anyway, as we were saying, Milton Keynes did a really good job of just holding their stands, really just forcing the CoLA. We saw it travel there, but it was literally just because the MK defenders were just stood and making that wall, as you said earlier.
And it forces you, and again there, it just forces you because you run into the contact, don't you? And it kind of makes you kind of bounce back, and then you do take that extra step.
Exactly, and then as we said about that end, the exact same thing happened down there at the other end.
6:28 to play here in the third. And last touch, CoLA, so it's Breakers' ball. The Breakers looking to make it to their second Junior Final Fours final. And a good read there from Brian Smith, who comes up with the steal. Bakari. Ogwe driving baseline. Ogwe floats it up. And ball will come off. Wait, what's the call there? Yeah, ball will come off CoLA.
Yeah, the CoLA just kind of cleverly tipped it off one of the CoLA defenders there.
But again, starting that play, it was Ajayi tipping the ball for CoLA to be able to save it in, and then off CoLA.
Yeah, Ajayi certainly really stepped up today. She's really had herself a performance. Currently on 7 points, 2 rebounds, and just so many tips and sort of, you know, touches on the ball that just aren't going to show up on the stat sheet that have led to some positive things for MK.
So a 2-point Breakers lead. And that's the Breakers' biggest lead of the game so far, as Elna can't save the ball. It will be CoLA possession.
Yeah, the ball just, I think it just might have hit someone on the Manchester bench there, on the other court.
They just sat on the substitution bench and then get a ball hits them. It's not what you're expecting, but you Bakari. Adepoju, oh, the fake, the step through. Shot bounces off the back rim. That's a good look, though, for Adepoju. As Smith-White thought about it, apologies to CoLA, and runs into traffic. Ajayi gets the rebound, but it'll be a step out of bounds.
Yeah, big block there from Butter in there, just sending it away from the basket. You know, MK they were able to get the rebound, but again, that CoLA defense just making that wall. We've seen a lot of walls from both teams today, haven't we?
And it is, when you play like that and when he's making that stance and stand, it just makes it so difficult for the opposing team to get what they want. Bakari. Bakari to the basket, finds a path. Brian Smith with a big rebound and a foul called. So second team foul against the Breakers, as Faith Deakin will sub in and Sophia Elna goes to the bench. Elna with 7 points and 4 rebounds.
But yeah, Brian Smith, we spoke about all day, but what a great presence inside she's been. You know, nearing triple-double already, and we've still got 15 minutes left in the game. You know, she had 10 rebounds in that first. Was it in the first quarter, first half?
First half.
Wasn't it? Well, she was near enough first in the first quarter, but yeah, real great performance from her today.
Yeah, it really has been, as she hits the first free throw. And the second, 2 of 2 from the line, and we're tied at 33 all. And a substitution for CoLA as Amida Luani comes back in. And Victoria Buderin goes to the bench with 6 points and 5 rebounds for CoLA. So tie game here in the third quarter. Just under 5 minutes to play. Okoli pulls up from the elbow. And travel's called. So it will be CoLA ball from the end line. Good tip by Begbilum, knocks the ball out of bounds, forces CoLA to reset.
Yeah, and sometimes just those tips, just forcing teams to reset, just disruptive, even if it shaves half a second off the shot clock, it's still some time.
Adepoju. Adepoju puts it up from deep, off the back iron. Milton Keynes with a chance to go ahead as Smith White is running the floor, and Smith White. And an offensive foul called. Eni Adepoju taking the charge.
Yeah, great job from Adepoju there. You know, we know she's a really quick player, just able to recover in time, get in front, and hold that stance. As you said, you know, getting those charge calls, real energy plays for the team.
And she was trailing, wasn't she? She was trailing.
She was, yeah.
Kuyate to Adepoju. Ball's knocked away and stays CoLA possession. Luani will inbound. Brian Smith. Bakari.
I don't think the ball wasn't even live just then.
Oh, okay.
Like that whole time, just when that sequence was. I didn't even know what was happening. I could hear like a horn in one ear.
And then there was big cheers from the Manchester Mystics bench on the other court for the under-16s.
Oh yeah, we speak about the players not having a clue what's going on.
It's difficult for us as well.
It is. Especially when we're right next to the horn, you know.
Oh yeah, Luani to Adepoju, 3 seconds on the clock. Ball's knocked away, Deakin comes up with it.
Yeah, great hands from the Milton Keynes defenders there, just able to get hands in and get taps on the ball, you know, touch on the ball without actually fouling.
Adepoju spins. Bakari back into Adepoju, hanging on the baseline. And Begbulam with the rebound, but then CoLA get a hand on the ball.
And I mean, every single loose ball that's out there at the moment, there's players from both sides just swarming towards it. Really just showing how much it means to each team, you know, to get this win. And we said it's those small, you know, those effort plays that can really, especially in a close game like this, we're currently tied. They're the little plays and little differences that can be difference in winning and losing.
Yeah, absolutely. And a substitution for CoLA. As Ekpekwe Ogwe comes back into the game, Kuyate tips the ball. Adepoju runs into traffic. And travel called. So ball goes back with the Breakers. It's been a 9-6 run for Milton Keynes this quarter. And we'll see a substitution, but not quite yet. We'll wait for that. Faith Deakin. Deakin led the WEABL in scoring this season. 22.4 points a game. And 5.1 steals. Led the league in steals.
Yeah, another player who's no stranger to this big stage, you know, having previous, oh my God, I can't speak, it is early in the morning, but yeah, having previous experience in Final Fours and in the Junior National Cup final early this year.
Okoli out to Stankovic. Stankovic banks it in! The bank is open on Saturday morning for Lucas Stankovic.
Yeah, you cannot leave her open. If you give her any space, if you don't put your hand up, she is going to sink that. We've seen it already so many times this game.
That's all she needs, just an inch of daylight. Kuyate, inside ball will go out of bounds. And over on court one, a 4-point lead for the Mystics over the Kingston Lions with time running down in the third quarter. I've got to just shout out, there is someone in a lion costume waving a Kingston Lions sign. That is absolutely fantastic.
End of the third quarter.
Bakari. It'll be a 24-second shot clock violation. And for players here, this can be quite difficult, can't it? So the clock's running down. At this point in the game, you've switched ends, so you're in front of your opponent's bench, and they're not going to tell you the shot clock's running down.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, and some players, you know, might not even be, actually, no, I'm pretty sure now at under 16s Prem level, I think you do need a shot clock. But, you know, shot clock in different positions as well. Sometimes the shot clock's on the floor, in the corner. It's not always going to be at the top.
So it can be, that can play into it as well, because you haven't got your bench shouting, you haven't got the crowd on your side shouting where it's going to be. So, and again with the noise from the side court as well, it's quite an intense atmosphere for people to play in.
It is. I mean, especially when you have two close games going on, you know, there's noise coming from all over.
So 3-point Breakers lead. Adepoju into Kuyate. Ball's tipped away. The deflections again from that inside pass from the Breakers. As a CoLA steps round, can't get it to go. Kuyate. CoLA will reset. And Ebegbelen with the block. And ball is going backwards and forwards here. And if we look down the stat sheet, Isha, we have 3 players from Milton Keynes who have 5 steals each. Chantal Okoli, Sophia Elner, and Holly Smith-White with 5 steals each. And a huge 20 steals in the game so far for Milton Keynes.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane to even think about that. Just that, and we still have a whole another quarter to go, you know, over another quarter. But if you've watched the game, if you've seen it, I mean, if you're just checking in, it's with reason, you know, you can see. And if FIBA did listen to us and add in like an extra column for the tips, there's so many times where there's been tips that have led to maybe the next possession, or tips that have led to a stop for CoLA. So real credit to Milton Keynes out there, really putting on that defensive pressure, and so have CoLA, to be fair. Just real defensive masterclass from both sides.
It really has been, as we see Ajayi back into the game, along with Keith Swanky for Milton Keynes. And, oh, what a finish there! Budurin under the basket, just working hard.
That was a great rebound, bro. Just one-handed, just snatched out of the air. One dribble, straight back up.
Keith Swanky on the baseline, spins over to Stankovic. Taylor. Ball's knocked out of bounds. Milton Keynes will have it. 5 seconds on the shot clock.
That was another little volleyball spike there from Adepoju. Just disrupted it. I said only 5 seconds, so Milton Keynes will have 5 seconds to try and get something off quickly. Just being disruptive on defense is Adepoju.
She really is. Ajayi out to Stankovic. 1 second. Ball needs to go up here, and that'll be after the shot clock for Milton Keynes.
Yeah, and just as you were saying before about, you know, being shooting on the other side, maybe not used to what's happening with the shot clock. The ball movement was certainly there for Milton Keynes. You know, that was like textbook offense there. Just extra pass, extra pass, extra pass, extra pass. Found that a wide open shot. Just unfortunately, shot clock had expired.
Final minute of the third quarter. 1-point Breakers lead. Adepoju sidesteps. Too strong. But an offensive rebound as CoLA get another chance here. Bakari. Bishop in the corner, off the rim, off the rim, as Deacon has the ball. Keith Swanky to Deacon. Stankovic. And a whistle on the floor. And that'll be foul number 5 against CoLA, so that will put Milton Keynes at the foul line.
That horn is very loud, isn't it?
It is a loud horn, yeah. So if you can hear that on the stream, that's what it is. It's the table horn.
But we also have changed locations.
We have actually
to our normal tables. We've gone to we're on the home side this time. Normally we're on the away side.
So it will be Lucas Stankovic shooting at 2 at the line here for the Milton Keynes Breakers. Stankovic averages 10.3 points per game for the under-16s in March this season. She doesn't get the roll on the first. Had a 14-point game against the Lancashire Spinners. But gets a second. She's up to 6 points personal. Gives the Breakers a 2-point lead. 2-second difference between the shot and game clock. Ogwe to Bishop. Bishop with 10 seconds. Adepoju. She'll reset. 4 seconds. Adepoju. And time will run down. And again, good defense from the Breakers. They've got 1.5 seconds to play.
Yeah,
I think.
We'll see if they set up for that full court lob this time. But I mean, there's been a lot of shot clock expiry in this third quarter. But you know, real credit to the defense from both sides being really disruptive.
And Deakin will launch and grazes the rim.
That looked good. From here, that looked very good.
Didn't it? I don't doubt we're going to see one of those going today.
Yeah, me neither.
So, at the end of the third quarter, it's a 2-point Milton Keynes lead, 37-35 over CoLA. Milton Keynes have been led in scoring by Abby Ajayi with 7 points off the bench, and Sophia Elner also with 7 points and 4 rebounds. And for CoLA, leading the way, 9 points for Nia J. Bryan-Smith, along with 13 rebounds, and 7 of those rebounds are offensive. And it's been Victoria Butterin with 8 points and 6 rebounds. And if we take a look over on court one, Isha, in the other under-16 girls semi-final, it's a 61-57 lead for the Manchester Mystics, with 7:50 to play in the fourth quarter. Elsa Critchley is continuing her rebounding masterclass, and she's now up to 16 rebounds along with 26 points. And for the Kingston Lions, Nikita Cornford has 14. Julia Bartnicker with 15 off the bench for Kingston. And the under-14 boys semi-final, the London Stars with a 79-61 lead over the Richmond Knights. You can watch all the action live on the Basketball England YouTube channel. 24 games over the course of the weekend, 3 courts. Come on down to the National Basketball Performance Centre. This is the best weekend, isn't it, to see young talent out on display from the under-14s to the under-18s age groups. Been an absolutely fantastic first half so far. We've got a great crowd. You can see there, that's the CoLA under-18s team supporting the under-16s age group. And, you know, we see it throughout the course of the weekend, but it's just great to see the support for players out here.
Yeah, it is. And if you can't come down, first of all, why? Second, make sure you follow along on the live streams. If you do come down, come and say hi. I'll bring us food.
Yeah. So teams coming out onto the court for the fourth quarter. It's a 2-point Breakers lead. CoLA possession. Kuyate. Hands off to Bishop. Kuyate, 6 seconds on the clock. Ogwe lines it up and doesn't get the bounce.
That was a great box out there from a couple of the Milton Keynes defenders there. Just stopping CoLA from getting that offensive rebound.
Elner. And foul on the shot. So Sophia Elner will go to the free throw line.
And yeah, one thing that CoLA will, or both sides, will want to be wary of, especially because how close the game is not getting into foul trouble or into team fouls, especially as it comes down to crunch time.
Yeah, definitely. That's obviously something that they'll want to manage, coaches will want to manage. And that's something that players sometimes have to learn, isn't it? At this, well, they always have to learn it, but at these younger age groups as well, like, you might not always be used to having to play through with fouls, and sometimes it's the nature of the game, and you do have to learn it.
Yeah, exactly. And what better time to learn it than on the big stage in a final or semi-final in front of all these people.
This is a 3-point Breakers lead. Bishop in the corner, too strong. Adepoju gets the rebound. Another chance here for CoLA. And ball doesn't go inside. There'll be a shot clock violation.
Yeah, that was a great vine inside there by Kyoto to Butter in there, just underneath the basket. Done a great job so far, have CoLA just finding the open player inside.
Elner scoops it up, gets the roll. And Sophia Elner now, oh, it's a steal. And a jump ball. What's that a steal like? I looked away for a second to check the stats.
Yeah, it was a steal. And what we see Milton Keynes do, I mean, they did the same thing at the start of that third. Yeah, they did the same thing at the start of that third quarter there. Just coming out really strong pressure, you know, pressing full court every time there's a score. Really up in the players, up in the faces of the CoLA players. Sorry, it's too early. It's too early.
Ajayi onto the court, and it's not too early for either of these teams because they have come out absolutely firing, and like it is kind of an unusual time for some of these players to be playing basketball, but they have showed absolutely no signs of that whatsoever.
Yeah, they really haven't, and I'm sure a lot of these teams either probably came up last night as well, you know, might have had to stay over, not sleeping in your own bed. Not always the best start to the day like that, but they've come out here nevertheless.
Okoli. Our ball goes out of bounds. It stays with the Breakers. And Milton Keynes have a 5-point lead here in the fourth quarter. 8:14 to play.
Yeah, that was a big block there from Buttering. Just see here, Okoli driving in, and Buttering just comes out of nowhere. Massive volleyball spike towards the media table there, just waking them up. But as you saw her come in as well, she had both hands up. She didn't come down with her hands down, then to have to come up and to block it out of the way. She came with hands up, already in a good stance. She saw she had the block, and then she moved her hand.
That's very...
It is technical, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we've seen that a lot from both sides today. You know, a lot of the players, when they're on defense, they're just so disciplined and conscious of not getting those fouls.
Okoli. Three doesn't drop, but Ajayi's there for the rebound, kicks it out to Smith-White, and Smith-White with a running floater. As the ball's tipped, you can see Brian Smith there tipping the ball over to Buttering so that she can get the rebound. As CoLA look to make this a single possession game. Breakers possession. Okoli has space, nets it! And Chantal Okoli, that's too much space for her.
Yeah, if you're going to give her space, she's going to shoot it and she's going to sink it. Chantal Okoli. Big three there for the Milton Keynes Breakers, just extending that lead to around 8 points.
And that is the biggest lead that Milton Keynes have had today. It's the biggest lead that either of the teams have had today. And with 7:43 left to play here in the fourth quarter, it's been a run for Milton Keynes, a 6-0 run so far this quarter.
Yeah, and we saw again, it's similar. It's kind of, this quarter is kind of reflecting a similar way to that third quarter there. You know, the Breakers came out strong, forcing CoLA to, you know, call the timeout just to talk things over. And I mean, the final score at the end of that third quarter then,
13-8 to Milton Keynes.
But as in like the final score, yeah, Milton Keynes were up by, no, CoLA up by 2 at the end of the third, no? Or was it? Okay, I'm really confused now, actually. That's just, I'm confused. Well, so, what I meant to say is, yeah, CoLA brought it back. They called time out, but they brought it back, just kind of chipped away at it.
They did. So, and then that's what teams need to do, isn't it? So in this situation, so CoLA now being down 8, you just need to take it possession by possession and chip in, and we've seen the defense, we know they can get those stops. and then you want to try and capitalise on the other end. But again, on the other side, we've seen Milton Keynes, and we know that they can get those stops.
Exactly, and I mean, 7 minutes is a really long time. 7 minutes 43 seconds to be specific. It's a really long time in basketball. We've got all the time in the world to try and catch back up.
And a whistle on the floor, travel call, so the Breakers get the ball back, and like we just said, they've just got to stop.
Yeah, I think she knew on that one. I think the ball might have just, slipped from her hands there. You saw her pull the face as soon as she picked it back up. But now they just need to stop and then focus what they can see what they can get at the other end.
Elner's shot's too strong. Deakin tips the ball as Smith-White finds Elner. Back to Deakin. Deakin on the baseline. And Adepoju saves it in for CoLA. Adepoju, such a fantastic ball handler for CoLA. And she spins, stops, passes out to the corner. Her shot's up, doesn't go. But some good ball movement there from CoLA. And the interception from Bakari. And then a foul against the Breakers. So it will be CoLA possession.
Yeah, as you say on that last possession, there's some good ball movement, because what CoLA have done really well is they've just read the defense. So when they have driven in and the MK defenders have kind of collapsed in on them and made that wall, they've done a good job at kicking out and finding that open player.
Yeah, they really have, as we have a substitution as Aisha Kuyate comes back into the game. And Namira Bishop goes to the bench. Bishop with 3 points and 3 rebounds for CoLA. Adepoju has it. Ball's tipped away inside. But good hustle there from Brian Smith, who comes up with the ball. 1 second, Kuyate has to launch. As Smith-White at the other end is too strong, but Ajayi's there cleaning up the glass.
Yeah, Ajayi, I mean, that's her nine points in the game, 6 rebounds. She's been such a real impact player off the bench, really stepped up in this game today.
Kuyate pass inside as Brian Smith doesn't get it to fall. Elner out to Smith-White. And a foul called against CoLA. It's a 10-point lead for the Breakers. And substitution for CoLA as Brian Smith goes to the bench.
I think a bit of confusion there, what was happening out on the court there. I think the CoLA plays were set up as if they were on offense, but it was Milton Keynes' ball, so Milton Keynes just got a quick one there.
Kuyate. Ball's deflected. But Buttering working inside. Out to the corner, Adepoju. Too much on it. And shot clock violation. So Milton Keynes will get it back, and again, running that clock down. And over on court 1, the Kingston Lions coming back have put it down to a 2-point game. They were down 11 earlier on. 70-68, the Manchester Mystics are leading over on court 1 as Adepoju bounces into the air and Kuyate lays in 2, and a timeout called by Breakers head coach Oriel Guarido, as he wants to talk it over.
Yeah, great little break there from CoLA. They kind of just needed a score there just to kind of break up, especially when the energy or the momentum seems to be with the other team. Sometimes all you need is just a quick little score to kind of just bring back the energy to the team. And obviously that score there, forcing MK Breakers to call a timeout. And 5 minutes left to go, it's still a long time, anything could happen in 5 minutes. Certainly, was it last year, wasn't it, when CoLA 18s actually brought it back in the literally in the dying seconds of the game, wasn't it?
Against Ipswich, that was a wild finish, yeah. So, as you say, it is a long time. There's a lot of time left to play. As teams are talking it over there, you can see on the Milton Keynes bench, head coach Guarido alongside his assistant Josh Merrington and Paige Weiss. As the Breakers have a 10-point lead here in the fourth quarter, 5:06 to play. Over on the backcourt, the London Stars in the under-14 boys semi-final have won 95-69 against the Richmond Knights. Kaius Visokis has dropped 40 with 5 three-pointers and has 7 rebounds for the London Stars. So they'll be moving on to the final. They are the first finalists confirmed for tomorrow, and the Richmond Knights would be playing for 3rd and 4th place. But back here on court 2, it is Breakers' possession. They have a 10-point lead, and it's intercepted by Bakari. And then taken back by Begbulan for the Breakers. It'll go out of bounds and CoLA possession. Bakari. Bakari to the basket. Too strong. Deakin. Elner swings it round and ball is deflected out of bounds. How many times do you think I've said that sentence?
Deflected out of bounds, yeah. We need like not a drinking game, that's not PG, but something that's similar, but the child-friendly version.
Have a snack game.
Yeah,
have a
snack every time Kaz says deflect the ball out of bounds.
A 2-point game over on court 1 between the Kingston Lions and the Manchester Mystics. Here it's a 10-point game as Milton Keynes have the lead and look to extend it. Deakin. Ibegbulan. And possession will be with Milton Keynes. Deakin, and that ball was deflected out of bounds. Elner. And Sophia Elner with 10 points into double figures for Milton Keynes today. And we've just got to stop here, so referee's just going to confirm something with the table. But 4:33 to play in the fourth quarter here on court 2. Coming up at 12 o'clock after this game, it will be the under-16 boys semi-final between the London Elite and the Sussex Storm. And the players you can see coming in, the Manchester Magic under-16 team just walking in. They're joining the crowd. They'll be playing against the London Cavaliers also at 12 o'clock. That tip might be slightly delayed, but we'll keep you updated on the Basketball England YouTube channel. As Adepoju doesn't get it to go, and the putback's good for CoLA. Eight-point game. Elner passes off inside. And a foul goes against CoLA. That's the 3rd team foul against CoLA.
Yeah, especially those fouls in a close game like this could certainly start coming into play, especially as the clock winds down. I mean, Breakers only committed 1 team foul this quarter, which for them that's a big improvement because in that first quarter they did commit, they did get in team fouls quite quickly. So even in games like this, even though it is a semi-final, you can see these teams just improving out there on the court.
Yeah, you certainly can. It's that, to be able to do that, to adjust in game, it's really difficult to do, isn't it? You don't have a week to wait before your next game to make those changes. As ball's loose on the floor, and Kuyate and Akoli going for the jump ball. It will be a jump ball call. And over on court 1, it's a tie game between the Kingston Lions and the Manchester Mystics, 72-72, 1:16 to play.
I'm going to say it now, and I know table officials hate this, but when you say the word overtime, I'm calling it overtime on that game over there.
We'll keep an eye on that score for you. 109 to play over there, 3:42 to play here between Milton Keynes and CoLA. Okoli finds a way, banks it in, and a big bucket there for Chantal Okoli. Takes herself up to 8 points.
Yeah, Chantal Okoli just finishing through traffic, able to get to the basket. Great finish from her.
Okoli with 6 steals as well.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit, maybe just too much pressure on that one.
Okoli had a big game at the National Cup final with 17 points for the Breakers in January. Bakari out to Kouyaté. 5 seconds, Kouyaté runs into traffic, a blocking foul is called. What's just happened on court 1, Isha? I heard cheers.
From the looks of it, all I heard was the cheer. I saw the Kingston Lion defenders just jump up, holding that 3 points up. I'm pretty sure somebody just hit a big 3 for Kingston Lions. They're currently up by 3 points.
The lion costume in the crowd for the Kingston Lions is having a whale of a time. So yeah, it is a 3-point, 75-72. Kingston have just taken the lead. If you're following here, you know, well done for following us as we're talking about 2 separate games at the same time. So first shot doesn't fall for CoLA.
This is what Final Four actually is all about. You know, it's all going on. It's all happening.
Kouyaté sinks the second. Previously with the London Greenhouse Pioneers is Kouyaté. And a big 20-point game against Ipswich this season for the under-16. She's been a really exciting player to watch out there today. As Elna turns and fires, but Okoli there for the rebound and the putback.
Yeah, CoLA just makes it look easy out there. You know, gets the rebound, goes straight into a layup. It's perfect, that.
Ogwe. Kouyaté. Budurin puts it up the long 2. Rebounds picked up by Deakin and knocked away by Bakari. Okoli. And an offensive foul called.
Yeah, Bakari there, just really good job there. Just get in the correct position, just plant her feet, stand her ground and draw that offensive foul. And yeah, I was going to say updates on the overcourt. Foul called. Manchester Mystics have 2 shots to try and draw it. Back to this court. It's called the possession.
This is why people need split screens. We warned you to start with. So substitution here for Milton Keynes as Holly Smith-White comes back into the game. Budurin to Bakari. Ogwe. Brian Smith, it's taken away by Begbelum. Elna running and a big block from Budurin, standing her ground, and Victoria Budurin. A huge defensive play.
Yeah, we see her do that so well in this game so far. She's done such a good job of getting the correct position in to get that block. And she's on, that's her 5th block this game, wow.
So Breakers ball from the end, like 5th block, that's outrageous.
5th block.
3 seconds on it. They need the
and it'll be Breakers ball. Breakers ball from the end line. Ibegbelum inside. Smith-White spins. Not that time. Brian Smith with another rebound for CoLA. And Budurin takes it all the way, gets the whistle. So 2 free throws to come here.
On the court action. So final score 75-73 to the Kingston Lions. Kingston Lions make their first ever under 16s girls final. So really good job to them. Mystics had a final shot, couldn't get that one to sink, but big cheers over there from the Lions. That's what all the noise was, if you're wondering about it. As back to this game now, we have CoLA hitting that first free throw. They bring it into 10.
Badurin goes 1 of 2, and Victoria Badurin with 10 points after that free throw, 7 rebounds. As you said, Isha, 5 huge blocks.
Yeah, she's been such a big presence inside on both ends of the floor.
1:49 to play on this court. So the Kingston Lions, they will be moving on to the under-16s final tomorrow. Manchester Mystics will be playing for 3rd and 4th place as ball goes out of bounds on this court for CoLA. Deakin looks to get the ball over the halfway line. She'll set things up, calling for a screen. Okoli into the corner. Keith Swanky off the back iron, but a big rebound there for Rebecca Blum as Keith Swanky skies in from nowhere. And Lulu Keith Swanky puts the ball back in the basket.
Yeah, Milton Keynes at the moment doing such a great job on the offensive boards and just able to finish and get those second chance opportunities.
So 2 free throws for CoLA as Ekpebwe Ogwe at the line. Ogwe, 5 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals today. She had 12 points against the Richmond Knights earlier this season, playing for under-16s. Also been playing for the under-18 CoLA team as well, as Brian Smith gets the offensive rebound.
Yeah, who else other than her to be underneath that basket?
15 rebounds for Nia J. Brian Smith today, along with 9 points. She's doing this in this age group. It's going to be so exciting to see what she does in the next few years as well. It's going to be exciting to see what she does tomorrow.
yeah, very. Definitely one of those players to be looking out for. And that's what's so good about Final Fours. You know, you find out who these players are early on, and as we spoke already, you get to see them develop and just go through the age groups.
So 1:11 to play. And the Breakers with a 12-point lead here. So we'll see Eni Adepoju check back in. And Namira Bishop goes to the bench. And it'll be CoLA possession. Ogwe. Badurin to the basket. And 1 step too many, so it'll be Breakers possession.
Yeah, just looking for the reverse on that one. Couldn't quite get over, but again, that Milton Keynes defense just really putting on that pressure.
And Adepoju over to Ogwe. Adepoju's got great court vision. And a timeout called. So a timeout, we had a bit of confusion there, but a timeout called on this court with just less than a minute to play. Coaches want to draw something up. And sometimes people might think, oh, you know, Milton Keynes have a 10-point lead here. It's very difficult for CoLA, but it's a real opportunity, isn't it, for coaches and for players to get used to playing in a real-life game situation when you've got an opponent that's not a team that you practice against, and draw something up so that when you are in a really tight game and you need to execute that, you've had the practice, you've had the reps.
Yeah, exactly, because kind of that in-game experience is something you just can't replicate in practice, because as much as you might play against each other, you might go 5-on-5, 4-on-4, whatever that might be, at the end of the day, your teammates know what you're going to pull out of the bag. And playing against actual other teams and other opponents, against, you know, defense that might have different rotations, defense that might react differently, that's something, yeah, really invaluable, as you said. And I mean, at this age especially, I mean at every age, but especially at this junior age group, under 16s, every game is learning. So whether or not the result goes their way or if it doesn't, they've still, you know, they have next year, they have the year after that. They've still got so much longer left in their basketball careers. It's just the start of it.
It really is. So less than a minute to play, a 10-point Breakers lead. Coming up after this game on court 2, it will be the London Elite and Sussex Storm in the under-16 boys semi-final, and the Manchester Magic will be taking on the London Cavaliers on court 1. And then in the backcourt, the under-14 girls with Manchester Mystics and Solent Kestrels will be playing. So Smith-White to Elner. Elner to the basket, gets the whistle. Sophia Elner had such a long stride as she's going to the basket, and she's able to do a really good job of being able to get there. She either finishes or she's done a really fantastic job of getting to the foul line.
Yeah, and she's able to just get that change of pace well, because she takes so long in the stride, so she can speed up or she can slow down, kind of just throws the defender off a little bit.
Elner had a 33-point game against Northants earlier this season for the under-16s. She's been averaging 18.2 points a game this season. And also playing WEABL, named the Player of the Week in December when she had a 23-point, 12-rebound game against Birmingham.
That's a big performance, that.
Double-doubles, throwing out a casual double-double for Sophia Elner.
As you do.
So CoLA possession from the end line, 50.3 seconds to play. Ogwe racing down the floor, steps through. Good defense from Ajayi. You can see there just putting where she's standing, Ajayi, under the basket. Stopping CoLA getting the shot that they want. Interception by Bakari. Bakari will go to the free throw line. Salma Bakari, 4 points, 5 rebounds and 3 steals today.
Yeah, she's done a real good job at just kind of slowing down the offense, setting things up.
First free throw spins out. Bakari, the under-18 basketball ambassador for the Black Prince Trust, doing a really good job with the Black Prince Trust in London. And a fantastic ambassador just on the court and off the court. She's a real leader. As she tries to chase down the ball, it's Smith-White that comes up with it. Elner, time and space, off the rim. And it'll go out of bounds. It's going to be Milton Keynes' possession.
Yeah, Milton Keynes keep the ball.
.5 seconds. 3.5 second difference between the shot and game clock here. Deakin round to Smith-White. Smith-White back to Deakin. Deakin from outside, splashes in the 3 and puts the icing on the cake for the Milton Keynes Breakers. And with time running down here, the ball gets knocked out of bounds, but the Milton Keynes Breakers will be heading to their 2nd ever final at the under-16 girls level, and that will do it. 57-43. The Milton Keynes Breakers moving on to the final tomorrow, and they will face the Kingston Lions. That will be at 10 o'clock here on the Basketball England YouTube channel. That's a huge achievement for the Breakers. They were really able to just pull away towards the end there in what had been such a tight game.
Yeah, they were. I mean, obviously they came out a little bit slow, probably slower than they would have liked in that first quarter. You know, new court, new environment. But CoLA definitely did not make it easy for them. You know, CoLA really put up a fight. They had a really big performance there. Some great individual performances from players, but ultimately Milton Keynes were able to come out on the other end.
And leading the way for the Milton Keynes Breakers, it was Sophia Elner 11 points, 4 rebounds and 6 steals for Elna. Chantella CoLA, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 6 steals. Just a huge all-round performance from the Breakers. You know, they played their game. That defense was on show. A well-deserved win for them, and they will be moving on to the final at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And for CoLA, a huge game from Nia J. Bryan-Smith. 9 points, 15 rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds. That's a name to remember. I'm so excited to see her going forward. And alongside her, Victoria Buterin, 10 points and 7 rebounds for CoLA.
Yeah, I mean, as a team, CoLA, 59 rebounds.
That's huge.
Huge. And 20 of them being offensive. They did such a good job on the boards today, whether that was offensively, whether that was defensively. But yeah, real big performance from them. But they will be playing the Manchester Mystics tomorrow in that runners-up place to try and still get that third place.
Yep, so teams now have to refresh, get ready for the next game, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So right, on court one, in around 20 minutes time, we will have the under-16 boys semi-final between the London Elite and the Sussex Storm. And then over on court one, it will be the under-16 boys semi between the Manchester Magic and the London Cavaliers. Ishan will be with you on that game over on court one, and Hannah Alty will be joining me for the under-16 boys game here on court two. Over in the backcourt, you can watch the Manchester Mystics and Southwark Kestrels in the under-14 girls final. So Milton Keynes moving on to the final. Stick with us here on the Basketball England YouTube channel. We'll be back with you very shortly.